Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. Welcome to another cast done by Diggity on behalf of StarCastTV. Bottom right-hand corner, we've got Stork starting as the red Protoss. Upper left-hand corner, we've got Light starting as the yellow Terran. This is going to be on the map of all maps, Lemon, which has so many minerals. Look at all those minerals in the main, and you even got double 6,000 gas for both players, but not a lot of ground to build on in your main. Only 5 minerals of 1,500 on the low ground. If you're going to grab your natural right there, you do have the 3 o'clock, basically all the cardinal directions, and the center of the map, which are these 8 patches as well? Yeah, 8 patches across the board, but the other 2 spawns are blocked off by the Caldarian Crystal Formation, and therefore inaccessible. Theoretically. I guess they're accessible, it's just you're not going to get an additional base right there. Which, what I have seen thus far in matches like this, is Protoss tries some sort of shenanigans to stop Terran, Terran shells up, and then it is very difficult for Protoss to try to defend the exterior bases past that. So if Protoss are going to win it, they need to win it somehow early, or although Protoss have done it, and when they have done it, they've done it with the carrier style, and some of those victories have been from Stork. So, and Stork loves his carriers. This is a pretty good map for them if you can make it there, is the question. So we'll see what Stork has in mind. I would not be shocked to see him just go straight to carriers once again, but his opponent is Light, and Light's a clever guy. He is just he's brutal versus Protoss. I gotta say, it's very difficult to beat him as a Protoss player. Looks like he's gonna go for a refinery grab. I was wondering if he's just gonna go 1 racks into expand, skip the gas, but instead going for a gas build, and we're going to see a 12 Nexus cross spawn, which I know is the lament of most Terran players, but this isn't exactly your typical map to have that happen on. So just the 5 mineral patch boon rather than what would be a big jump otherwise. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Light just kind of let that one go. We'll have to see. 3 SCV in gas already. Initial scout going to check that upper right hand corner. Looks like we are going to see... Are we going to see a cross map scout? No, it looks like Stork is going to make his way counterclockwise. Wait for that Nexus to warp in. Gateway, a gas grab as well for Stork. Not going for double gateway. Ooh, a little bit of a worker battle right there. Ooh, and Stork wanting to get feisty with it. He's like, I got enough damage there where I think I can get a kill. And look at that moving shot. SCV's managed to barely... Ooh, already at half health. Able to get across, but this is going to create some continued delay, and unfortunately for Light, he's starting to scout bottom left, and so very likely he's going to end up with nil information unless he's moving this SCV to go ahead. Probe is at least able to check that natural to notice that that's not up, so I'm wondering if he's doing so to maybe go for proxy factories. Nope, we got 1 factory here. It's possible, but no, he's checking bottom left, so he's going to get absolute last scout. First Zealot is being constructed, Cybernetics Core alongside. Let's see if the Zealot can actually blockade this SEV out to deny some information in that regard. First Vulture being constructed as well. 1 SEV off gas to go ahead and plant that low ground command center. I actually see some players put it back here, which I think is very, very clever. Reduce that surface area. And Light, for whatever reason, maybe because of how aggressive Stork was with that probe, 2 Zealots on the front, blockading, just really being diligent to look for any sort of proxy or anything along those lines, maybe also recognizing the nature of this map. The Zealots, ooh, this is gonna, ooh, battle for, ooh, the SCV just backing out. That might even raise some more eyebrows. The Vulture is gonna sweep in. Vulture versus Zealot is usually a losing prospect for the Zealots, especially at this level of micromanagement. Stork actually peeling the Zealots to try to preserve shield as best as possible. And actually just taking a shred of base damage before that Dragoon's going out, but has actually managed to deny the information further. So, Light, I think he presumes there's got to be another Nexus here, but he doesn't know for certain. Range being grabbed, gateway as well. Second factory being tacked on, and barracks starting to float out. First siege tank gonna grab the forward line, open up that forward Zergag. I'd be a little bit shocked if Light did go for an aggressive move at cross position like this, also given the map. But we'll see. Previously, Stork has just gone 2-base carrier straight off. This time he is dropping a robotics facility. Let's see if he moves up to grab this third at the 3 o'clock location. The Dragoon is in position to potentially claim territory there. We're going to see a push from Light, though, as he's already got the 4 Marines, 5th Marine queuing up. So, and a 3rd factory drop. So he's going to probably do that 3 siege tank. Ooh, actually increasing the numbers here. Maybe trying to catch Stork with his pants down, going for a quick 3rd. It is going to be cross position. We'll see if he's able to get something accomplished with it. He's actually queued up 7 Marines overall. So it's going to be 7 Marines, 3 siege tanks, some vultures with speed and reinforcements to follow. Although 1 Marine didn't get the memo and is just hanging out. And the additional siege tank actually going to be a bit delayed. Okay, now they're moving out. Just wanted to have a buddy system. Everybody have your buddy as they're moving out. Vulture pressing forward on that forward line. So they're going to be up against 4 Dragoons, 2 Zealots, and reinforcements. Observatory out, 2 additional gateways being placed. Observers alongside as well. This is going to be 4 gateways momentarily to help defend this, and he might have actually... What? This is going to be interesting timing. So speed's going to come online. Stork did in fact go for that 3rd. He now has 6 Dragoons, but doesn't have eyes on this at all. Good play from Light, actually, to maybe recognize the opportunity here because of Stork's passivity. Observer now out, trying to sweep forward. That Vulture just kind of acting like it's a standard Vulture out there to do the peruse sort of thing, and maybe draw that Observer away. And here comes the rest of that attack force. Vulture sweeping towards the south, and Stork, I think he wanted to pick away at a lot of that toward the forwards. We do have 4 gateways of production behind this, but look at this army. Interesting timing. So 4 siege tanks, 8 vultures, 7 marines. We're going to call this the... I don't know, I feel like I should put some sort of number game like the 8-3 whatever. Anyway, Dragoons now engaging. Marines got caught a little bit out of position. They want to be on top of the Dragoons to shred those shields as much as possible. Pretty sizable attack force now focusing on the siege tanks. More vultures now sweeping up to reinforce. The Marines completely wiped out. An observer moving forward to go ahead and clear that vulture mine threat. 3 siege tanks remaining versus 6 Dragoons plus reinforcements. It looks like this attack has failed. 2 observers actually a little bit out of position there as well. Light's still going to try to make some push out of it. Some probes actually being transferred by Stork. None of them getting touched by that assault force. And those 3 siege tanks now need to get out of dodge as quickly as possible, because this Dragoon army could very quickly wipe them out. But that was a pretty heavy investment there from Light to start. Observer just walking its way in. Sees that armory down with +1 weapons, but Stork now with a massive supply lead. That might, yeah, that opens up an opportunity for him to go ahead and go for that double Stargate fleet beacon follow-up. Some siege tanks sweeping back around. I don't think... Yeah, okay, sorry. Siege check is upgraded. Going to try to open up that 3rd. See if Stork's able to reinforce rapidly enough. He's also got an observer right there waiting to see what sort of reinforcements are going to be sweeping out from the natural expansion. Pylon not yet dropped, and Stork already has some reinforcements there to deal with the vulture run-by potentially. And he doesn't need to engage. He can deal with the vultures if they decide to sweep in. And as soon as those siege tanks unsiege, he can just pounce on it otherwise. And he has that observer, although he'd have to go through minefield to do it. He's got that observer otherwise. So a few free pylons to Light, but this still isn't stopping mining at that 3 o'clock, nor is it slowing down this carrier switch. And I don't know, do we even have comsat? No comsat here at all for Light. So now trying to work on the very edge. Interesting architecture recognition from Light that he can siege this far away and hit that edge probe. Zealots now streaming forward. They do not have speed. That might raise eyebrows from Light altogether, but now has been able to breach the 3 o'clock, lay some positional mines. Stork hasn't pulled the probes out. He's continuing to mine at this position. Now pulling the probes, finally recognizing is going to have some trouble evicting the troops. Finally has a shuttle out to try to sweep forward and negate this. So Light still able to find some position. He's still way behind, though, in supply count, also economically, potentially. Dragoons looking to have a drop. That Nexus now under assault. And Stork charging forward. Focus firing that top siege tank. It's down. Looks like he's going to be able to clean this up. And now Light, in a desperate situation, down 30 supply, is going to have carriers in his face in short order. Looks like he has 2 SCVs pocketed here bottom left for purposes unknown. Was looking to sweep to maybe assault that natural, but I don't think he got a lot there. Maybe he can assault that retransfer of the probes back to the upper right. Looks like some Dragoons waiting just in case that was the case. Vulture's checking out the situation top right. Science facility, and we have a dropship being produced. So Light wants to try to push through that direction. He is going all sorts of factories behind this and not yet grab... Oh, never mind. I take it back. He's going to grab that 9 o'clock expansion as Stork sweeping out, clearing some of those mines. But yeah, this is a huge supply lead from Stork. Easy transition into carriers. Otherwise, he's going to have those 4 carriers out very, very rapidly. Finally, a comsat dropped. I don't know if he spotted the carrier switch as of yet, but might just know that this is Stork and therefore prepare for it regardless. +1 weapons has been upgraded from Light overall. Pylon wall reestablished at the 9 o'clock location, but Stork in firm command. Even felt confident enough to drop a 3rd Stargate. Wow. So a 3rd Stargate's been dropped. And going for, this is kind of, and upgrading armor rather than going for the +1 weapons. Vulture drop maybe going to go in here behind the lines, and that's going to be a rude awakening because it's gonna, I mean, this is going to be the first spot. And ooh, is it even going to land? Let me pull the vision off here. So the first vision of the carrier army of Light is the Vultures landing in the main, very quickly getting dispatched. 2 dropping there, 2 more trying to find a location. They're going to sweep all the way up to the north. Dragoons waiting in between, so now it's going to get pinned in no man's land and wiped out on that attack. But now carriers free to move out. Vulture's trying to sweep in. I think this is more to create a distractionary attack, but the Dragoons moving up rather than the carriers, and the carriers can just mosey their way across the map. 3 more carriers, so that'll be the total count of 7, and the first Goliath's now taking the field. And this is what, 4 Goliaths with +1 weapon starting to move out. Yeesh. Unfortunately, I don't have any interceptors out to see whether they have that +1 damage upgrade as of yet, but we do know +1 armor's there, and Stork gonna go ahead and grab that 6 o'clock. Again, 40 supply up. Doesn't need to attack into his opponent, but definitely has the option to do so. And especially you can see where this cliffside edge could be abused. This is a lot of vulnerable factory areas, although Stork is going to take that southerly route. So maybe going to threaten that 9 o'clock instead. Still these 2 SCVs here bottom left. Again, buddy system. A lot here in this game. Nexus being grabbed here at 6 o'clock as well. Vulture sweeping, just making sure that their additional bases weren't in fact grabbed. But Light, yeah, he's going to have all sorts of trouble here. I think he's mostly sending out these Vulture attack forces to try to force the carriers back out. Let's see if... So single Vulture able to get through. Not before those cannons are already constructing, but gonna ignore that for now. Actually, a decent-sized Goliath force, but this is a big open air. Like one of these guys, they have +2 weapons already. And that +1 armor alongside. I guess he was just upgrading this entire time. Stork doing Stork things, plus some Zealots dropping on the ground, engaging the siege tanks rather than the Goliaths at the very least, but this is going to be a very empty base very, very soon. 70 supply lead. Stork is absolutely dismantling Light. Perhaps a little bit of revenge. Looks like that Vulture has been taken care of. And this is just 5 of the 7 that could be here. The Goliaths do have +2 weapons themselves, but with that +1 armor finishing, that's going to allow those interceptors, yeah, +1 armor finish, which means those interceptors manage to make it back into the safe bay. with these engagements, making the air defense even harder. Stork approaching 200 supply. As soon as he links up with his Dragoons, look at all these turrets on the low ground as well. As soon as he links up with his Dragoons, I don't know that there's a position that Light can really defend. Carriers now moving out. Buddy system again, with the 2 carriers moving out that direction. Dragoons sweeping out to the north. They are being mirrored by the Goliath force. So the Goliath anticipating an attack there, and they are out of position to engage at the 9 o'clock. So they're going to have to retreat. And on top of that, on their retreat, they're engaging the Dragoons and eating a lot of damage as they're making their way across. Turrets exploding, and they're just no help. So more SCVs getting wiped out, and that command center just going to get focus fired down at this stage. Melts. So many interceptors dropping whatever they're dropping. Ion? They have ions that they're firing? Pulse cannons. So many pulse cannons firing simultaneously that it's effectively like a melting beam. Dragoon's going to sweep across. Wipe a counterattack there from Light. Going to try to poke at the 6 o'clock location. That should draw the carriers back, but honestly, it just feels like this is too little too late, and maybe donating some siege tanks otherwise. Massive supply lead. Comp's adding some cannons right there. Stork actually, is he just going to go for a counterattack himself? He's drawing those Dragoons to the north. Those carriers could just break down on that natural expansion, so he'd basically lose that 6 o'clock. Yeah. Light drawing back his attack trooping, just leaving 2 siege tanks to try to engage the Nexus there, as the Dragoons and the carriers now sweeping across and closing the gap on the natural. Tanks unsieged, trying to move up. The Goliaths leading. And being, great engagement there from Stork as well. So Goliaths pinned away on the low ground from the carriers, where they're just getting snuffed out. The Dragoons just going to go ahead and retreat otherwise. Looks like some Zealots able to march through and clean up there at the 6 o'clock. Stork now putting on a clinic. Goliaths doing what they can, but with the positioning, yeah, that'll be it. Light recognizing he just can't slow down the economy, too far behind. GG, well played from Stork all the way around. Interesting timing attempt rush there from Light in the early place. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give a like and subscribe if you did. Support StarCastTV. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.